Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 4:51 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state still in an uptrend. And if you look at the trend gauge over here, market leaders, we have the green arrow under grow mode short term. The S&P and QQQ are trading above the 21, mid and smalls lagging. Medium term above the 50-day moving average with small and mid caps lagging, and long term trading above the 200-day moving average. So what happened today? Well, we gapped down on a hot CPI print. The year over year came in at 3% versus 2.9% estimates. And then, core month over month came in hot as well. And we were gapping down, initially around 80 basis points, and then found buyers once the market opened and trended up nicely, closing mid-range. Still right on the day, but given the hot CPI print, pretty good reaction from the bulls today. And, still hints that the market continues to climb a wall of worry. Hot CPI print, tariff news. There's been many reasons for the bears to take the market lower, but they continue to fail. So, pretty good day. 21 over 21 list up 0.77% on the day. 13 green, 2 neutral, 6 red. Big 8 up 0.31%. RG8 up 0.09%. And you can see mid and small caps continue to struggle. Yields and dollar were up again today. 60-40 down 0.26%, and then GROTECTION up 0.06% on the day. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation. Yeah, so S&P, we gapped down off that CPI initially, found support at the 50-day and closing back above the 821 and 6,000 level. And, just continue to get it super tight in this range. I think, still the market's gearing up for a move. The direction is unknown, but leading to the upside here, continue to make higher lows and come in, if we can get a clean break above these recent highs with volume, I think that'd be best case scenario for the bulls. RSP continues just to form the handle of this cup. QQQ, again, very strong day today. Gap down, found support at the 50-day, and now just getting super tight under this downtrend line. And, this is, this would be the fourth test of it. So if it can break through, that'd be pretty positive. And simultaneously watching, this trend line here, if this starts to leak down, that wouldn't be good either. But from compression comes expansion, and there's no denying the fact that the indexes are getting super tight and still looks like they're gearing up for a move here. Mag 7, a little bit relative weakness here. You can see in the RS line, but not a whole lot to say here. Trading below the 50-day. Dow looks great here. This one's getting tight as well, kind of forming the handle of this cup base. This one looks good. Mid caps continue to leak off. Not as positive as a reversal as the S&P and the Qs today. Like to see this get back above 3,200. Russell 2000, same story here, relative weakness with the yields and dollar strong. This is still going to struggle. And now you get this declining 50-day acting as resistance for now. Would really need to see some volume and hook back up to get small caps in gear. Zoom out, monthly looks good. Watch this breakout level 2,300. And, I'll just talk about is that the IWM does its best work when it's at all-time highs, right? You can look back and look at all these monthly breakouts. These are the ones that led to the nice moves and the trends. So being patient here, if this can get through these highs, I think that'd look pretty good. And then weekly, got the 40-week coming in as support up here. ARC, much better than IWM. Big bounce off the 50-day today, and this one looks like it wants to potentially break out through that 63.44 pivot. FFTY leaders day today up 1.75%, and despite the flat close for the indexes, you really saw some outperformance in some of the stocks today. VIX continues to leak off back below 16. The dollar, like I mentioned, sitting right here at the 50-day, looks like it's gearing up for a move in either direction out of this little wedge. Gold continues to make new highs, super strong trend here, and continues to be strong despite even with the dollar being relatively strong. Gold stocks continues higher. Bitcoin, nice reversal here today, continues to hold this low right here, which is good, and just kind of in a basing period. As long as it doesn't give up the low end of this range, I think it looks constructive, and nothing to complain here. Coinbase reports earnings tomorrow, so that'll be a tell as well for some of the crypto stocks, one to keep an eye on, but obviously lacking RS as of late, but that's what happens when something goes into period of basing. Bonds continue to show weakness with rates strong. TLT, same thing. Rates, big pop in yields today, breaking out of this downtrend line. TNX, similar thing, breaking higher out of this downtrend line. So again, a little bit of caution with those continuing to stay strong. All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Let's see. News-wise. So obviously I mentioned that CPI that we got today came in hot, but the market rebounded nicely. Three of the holdings in GROTECTION reported today. Robinhood, Reddit, Bros. I'll go over those when I get back into the charts. But from first glance, Bros and Hood, monster earnings gaps. See if they hold into tomorrow, but great for our holdings. And then Reddit's down a little bit. We'll take a look at that. PPI tomorrow and retail sales on Friday. Today's keys, S&P versus the 21 and 50-day green arrow there. Nice close above. The Qs close above the 21 and the 50. IWM still closing below the 21 and the 50. And all things considered, positive CPI reaction. Into tomorrow, watch the S&P versus that 6,100 level. If that can take it out on volume, that'd be pretty good. Watching the Qs versus the 2150 and those all-time highs. See if the Russell can reclaim the 21 and 50, and then see what the reaction to PPI will be tomorrow. Day 18 of the consolidation, 3 days back above the 8, 7 days back above the 21. Sectors-wise, China's kind of in a lockout rally right now. You have Alibaba, Futu, both really strong. Bitcoin, nice rally today. Biotech, semiconductors, to the downside, energy, home builders, regional banks, oil services, financials, and utilities. In-house today, we bought the gaps in UPS, CFLT, added some QQQ exposure via QLD, added to DOCS, sold some of our SSO and Kava, and then also trimmed some Bros into earnings. RVAB 1.48, balance at risk 5.59%. And bottom line, bulls step up to the plate despite the hot CPI print. Alrighty, let's take a look at to talk about some trades. CFLT, we bought this one today on the gap. Pretty beautiful chart, gapping out of a huge base. Closed the day up 25% on 500% above average volume. Let's just take a look. Monthly clearing a huge range, weekly clearing this huge stage 1 base, and phenomenal action. We'll take a look at the intraday so you can see, broke opening range highs, closed high day, never violated this gap. So, this is what we call a 5-star earnings reaction. And one thing that's key is, that the ones that never break that first 5-minute bar tend to be some of the ones that work out the best. So, can't ask for better action on this one today. Upstart, we bought this one as well, breaking out of this range on earnings. Huge EPS increase, closed the day up 32% on almost 600% above average volume. And again, never broke that 5-minute opening range bar and closed near the high days. This one, again, pretty similar signature, breaking out of a big weekly base. Take a look at this monthly. Again, big base coming out of. So, super strong action there. We'll have to see if they fall through tomorrow. DOCS, we added to this one as well. Nice U-turn here today as the moving averages start to catch up. And then obviously look at the charts, added some QLD. This one looks poised to break out. And then also sold Kava, just relative weakness today, and kind of invalidating this cup that it was starting to round out from. But some great Great news after hours, bros. We own this one up 22% after hours. Briefly broke these all-time highs. Coming back in, it's about $80 now, but you know, monster beat and raise across the board. This one's acting great. Hood, this one's up 12% as well. Again, awesome to see. And then Reddit's down 18% at 176. It's not the greatest reaction. This one's coming back right into the 50-day. So see if that can hold support. APP, this is another one up 21%, trading at $462 after hours. And then TTD, this one's getting smoked down 25% and gapping down below the 200-day moving average. But all in all, this earnings season has been pretty good. A lot of the mid cap growth-esque stocks have been seeing some monster gaps. Bros, Hood, APP, these are prime examples. So good to see positive feedback there. And, other software names like Docs, all those have been seeing good reactions. So that's always a good sentiment indicator to track. Take a look at 21 over 21 list. HIM's new highs today. This one continues to trend nicely. HUD, just awesome chart and more new highs after earnings. And this one's trading at $62. And this one's going for those all-time highs at $85. Palantir, great comeback today, up for about 4.5%. Dash, another strong earnings, one that, closed the day higher on earnings, up 4%, continues to move higher out of this base. IBKR trending very nicely. Snowflake, super strong candle today, up 2%. Nice bullish engulfing off the 21. See if this one can gain some momentum through this 186.90 pivot. APP up 22% after hours. This one continues to just, unbelievable move that stemmed from sub $100 and now heading towards $500. Reddit, like I showed that. AEM, gold miners, see the strength in GDX, and a lot of these gold miners have some quite nice charts. Atlassian, this is another software name that had a strong earnings gap and now building out nicely. See if you can take those earnings day highs out. Twilio, another one getting super tight, letting these moving averages catch up, and nice upside reversal on this one today. Dutch Bros, covered that. C Limited, this one broke out yesterday and falling through today with some market strength. CEG, pretty good action, building a tight range here after still got this gap up here, but filling 50% range of this gap. TKO, ants are showing up on this one, super strong trend. Not that many people talk about this one, and this one's just stair stepping higher. CYBR, another one, stair stepping higher. Kava cut this one today. HWM getting in tight little base here. EQT down almost 3% today, about sitting right at the 21-day. Affirm, pretty good action. This one looks like it's might need a base a little bit here, but could set up for an ad opportunity as long as it doesn't give up these earnings day lows. It looks pretty good. And then Zillow, this one got whacked on earnings back below the 50-day. And yeah, kind of rejected this 86, 88 highs as well. Take a look at some of these names from that Monday gap and just show Oklo, this one continues to move higher. Ants pulling up. NNE, this one's still strong, kind of flagging here. Nice upside reversal. CLS flagging out here. This one super strong. Had one of the strongest comebacks off the lows. Had a positive earnings and now starting to get tight. SMR, another nuclear play that looks pretty good here. Let's see what else we got. Avgo, this one's showing relative strength in the semiconductor space, forming a tight range right here. CEGI covered. VST, again, similar to CEG, forming a flag here. GEV as well, nice comeback. We can look at NBIS. This one shot up really nicely as well. And then on the topic of earnings, obviously I've talked about a lot of good ones, but some of the bad is VRT. This one closed the day down 10%, and this one looks like it's, could argue it's potentially in, a stage 4 topping phase. See if it holds the 200-day and and that 100 psychological level, but no, not a ton of relative strength there. Take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is still finding resistance at this declining 50-day. Really would need to see this back through 140 with volume to think that it's back in play, but continued relative weakness and just, in a huge range since this big outside reversal day all the way back in June, and not really any progress at all. And then yeah, that is everything I got today. Great action from some of the holdings after hours on earnings, and like I mentioned, continue to see, for the most part, positive earnings reactions and the gaps during regular trading hours. The action has been good. Sometimes you see those the overnight gaps, and then once market opens, they just kind of chop around. But we've been seeing some fall through during the trading hours as well. And that's these have been some of the best trades that have been working, and that's why we're focused on a lot of these earnings gaps right now. And market seems like it wants to climb a wall of worry with a lot of negative news coming in, but continues to stay strong and setting up for a breakout here through 6,100. We'll see if we get that towards the end of the week. That is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com, or you can always reach out to Dan or Don at revereasset.com. Phone is 855-REAL-WEALTH, 855-732-5932. If you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, reach out. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great evening.